Hello! In this video, I'll be going over how to play Tingo in a simplified manner. Tingo is a traditional game played with Chinese dominoes, and the components are pretty good looking in my opinion. So, first things first, Tingo is a trick-taking game. It means Heaven 9, which are the two most powerful tiles in the game. I might sometimes call them cards, but yeah, they are tiles. But there are card versions of the game, which I have actually designed. Anyway, so yeah, it is a trick-taking game where you play 1 to 4 tiles to a trick. This game predates trumps, and I've read somewhere that trumps were an innovation to following suit was an innovation to stop trumps from being overpowered. So there are no trumps in this game, so there is no obligation to follow suit in this game. Each player may follow suit, or they may simply discard a card. So here are the Heaven tiles. They are the ones with 6 on both ends, and the 9 tiles here on the right, which are tiles whose pips add up to 9. You got 4, 5, and 3, 6 over here. Alright, let's talk about winning and discarding. Now, in Tien Gow, you must win the trick, or else you must discard. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, also, to win, tiles must follow suit. So let's take a look at this example over here. So, for instance, South over here has played an 8 of the military suit. Then West over here plays a 9, which wins. It follows suit and it wins the 8. Now North over here either cannot or does not want to win, which actually 9 is the highest card in this, is the highest tile in this suit, so it is unbeatable. So North has no choice but to discard. Now when you discard a tile, you place it face down, so that players don't actually know which tile you discarded. And East also has to discard because they cannot beat a 9, and so West wins this trick. They would collect all these tiles, like so. Now what's this about ranks and suits? Now this is one of the more complicated things of this game. So in Tingo, the tiles are separated into 2 suits. The civil suit, which I have colored in red over here, and the military suit, which I have colored in white here. Now the military suit is relatively simple. They are basically the tiles that aren't the civil suit, and they are counted by pip numbers. So the 9 is any tile that has pips that add up to 9, provided that they are not already taken by the civil suit. I don't think there's actually a civil suit tile that whose values add up to 9, so that's easy. And then 8 is tiles that add up to 8, provided that they aren't already in the civil suit. So for instance, Yan over here in the civil suit is the man. That also adds up to 8, but that is part of the civil suit. So you just kind of have to remember the civil suit, and then the rest of the tiles are the military suit. Now the easiest way to go about it first is to remember Tin De Yan Wo, the 4 most powerful tiles by heart. So Tin, it's sort of like an ancient Chinese philosophy thing, like Tin is heaven, De is earth, and then Yan is man. So, and finally you got harmony, which these days are also known as Ngo, which means goose. So you may hear heaven, earth, man, and goose as well. So the first 4 tiles are harmony between heaven, earth, and man. So heaven is the highest because it is the highest. So you got 6, 6, which adds up to 12. 12? Yeah, 12. And then earth is at the very bottom. You got heaven at the top and earth at the very bottom. So the very bottom one is represented by just the lowest combination. So 1, 1. And then man is between heaven and earth, so it is just in between. You got the 4, 4. And harmony, it looks like a yin-yang symbol if you like put 2 of these tiles side by side with one oriented like upside down. Then they kind of look like a yin-yang symbol. So that's harmony. Next are the doubles. So you got the plum flowers, which is the 5/5, because 6/6 already taken by heaven, and then 4/4 is already taken by man, and then this 3/3, which is the long threes, then 2/2, which is called the bench, and the 1/1, which is already taken by day. So the next three are the doubles, and then you just kind of have to remember the rest of these. So the axe, or the fu tao, looks like an axe, and then these three are the ones that are named after numbers in a sense. So you got hong tao sub, which is red head 10 because they add up to 10 and the head is red. Long leg 7, go gak tut, which add up to 7 and it looks like two long legs, and ling lam lok, which means lone flower 6 or lone bud 6, as in like a flower bud. So you've got this one. So these red ones are they make up the civil suit, and then the white ones at the bottom make up the military suit. All right, let's carry on. So when you play tiles to a trick, you can play either a single card or you can play any other valid group. Now a valid group is any of the following. So you can play doubles, for instance. You can play a double heaven, or you can play a double 9. So those are easy. They're basically pairs. Now what you can also do is play across across suits. So you got heaven and 9. They belong to part of a valid group as well. So heaven 9, you can play those as part of a valid group to a trick. And once you have these down, you can play any combination of these. So you can play 2 heavens and a 9, or you can play a heaven and 2 9s, or you can play 2 heavens and 2 9s. And the same goes for the rest of the tiles. So you can play 2 earths, you can play 2 8s, or you can play an earth 8, and you can play double earth, a single 8, a single earth double 8, or you can play 2 earths and 2 8s, and so on. Right. So that is why I have arranged the table like this. So you will see that Man Yan, which is ranked with 7, they can be played as part of a valid group. Harmony Wall, it can be played as part of a valid group with as well. And then the rest of these, all the way from plum flowers to lone flower 6, they do not form part of any special valid group. So you just play 2 plum flowers, and that's it. Like you cannot play plum flowers across suits like you can with Tien Gow, and same with the others. There are some special rules regarding Long Leg 7 and Lone Flower 6, but they are optional rules. Not all groups play with those rules, and in fact most apps I've played on don't implement those special rules. So if you're interested in that, I recommend looking it up in your own time. I'm just going to go through the basic rules that are well, I guess widely used in app implementations. Okay. Now, there is this special group, the Supreme Pair. Now, you will see that I have the big chicken over here, Dai Gai, and the small chick, Sai Gai, over here, colored in a sort of golden yellow. Now, they are a special group. They form the Supreme Pair. Yeah, as I said, the big chicken and the small chick. So what's interesting about this is that it always wins if led. So if you just play the Supreme Pair as your trick, and you lead the trick, then no one else can beat it, which means, as you will recall, like everyone would basically just have to discard 2 cards, because however many cards you play is however many cards each other player has to play as well. So, but it only wins if it is led. Otherwise, it would lose. So maybe it's better off that you don't discard those cards. Like you play Supreme Pair to win. You don't really aim to play Supreme Pair otherwise, right? Otherwise, you just discard them. All right, now let's go over how to start a game of Tingo, or how to start a hand. You deal out all the tiles evenly among all players. Now, in a 4-player game, each player would get 8 tiles. This is sort of the basic game, but because my friend group, sometimes 3 players show up, including myself, sometimes 5 players show up. So I've kind of made these variant rules to accommodate 3 to 5 or even 6 players. So either way, you deal out all the tiles evenly among players, and if there are any leftovers, they are just put aside until the next hand, where you would shuffle all the tiles again and so on. Choose any player to be the starting banker, and they will lead the first trick. And then you would basically play out the hands, play a tile or 2 or 4 or whatever. Every player will play the same number of tiles. Now, it's worth mentioning that each tile must follow suit. So if we look at this here, if you want to win, you must follow suit. If you don't want to win and you just discard tiles face down, then you can discard whatever. Right, so let's say you played, not Double Heaven, because Double Heaven is unbeatable, but let's say you played 2 plum flowers, right? A pair of plum flowers. So the other players can either discard any 2 tiles, or they can follow suit and try to win. So because you played a pair, each other player, if they want to win, they must also play a pair that is higher than plum flowers. So like 2 harmonies, for instance, or 2 man, or 2 earth. If you play 2 plum flowers as well, that will not win. Alright, in general, in Tingo, I don't think it's actually possible to play 2 more plum flowers, but in general, ties do not win. So if you play a tile of the same rank, you are tying yourself, and therefore you should just discard them. Right? You must win, you cannot tie. So yeah, tiles must follow suit. So let's say if, on the other hand, you played Harmony 5, so one tile is in the civil suit, the other tile is in the military suit. So if other players want to beat you, they must play a Man 7, or Earth 8, or Tien Gow, right? So each tile must follow suit. If they just played 2 7s, that is not following suit, because one tile you played was Harmony, which was the civil suit. So both tiles, or all tiles, must follow suit, which is why if you can play more tiles to a group, as play as many as you can. That will increase the odds of the opponents not having the right cards to follow suit for each of the tiles in your valid group. Okay, so we play all the tricks. We play all the tiles. Now it's the end of the hand. Now, any player who has failed to win at least one trick is actually not eligible to win the last single trick. So, if you have not won, say in a 4-player game, there are 8 cards, 8 tiles in total. If you have not won any of the first 7 tricks, then regardless of what your last tile is, even if you had Heaven or 9, you would still have to just discard it, because you are not eligible to win the last single trick. And the reason for that is that the winner of the last trick becomes the winner of that round, or deal, or hand. This is like confusing terminology. I use hand here to refer to when all players have played all their tiles. So like everyone deals out all their tiles, you play all the tricks, that's one deal, or one hand. Alright. Now the winner of the last trick is the one who actually receives payment. So you can sort of think of the goal to be winning the last trick, but it's not exactly that. I'll go into that in the next slide. But yeah, at the start of the next hand, the winner of the last trick will become the banker, and of course they will start the round. Now, this is a scoring summary. Now, there's a lot of information going on here. You can explore this in your own time. I will explain just the basics. So, scoring simplified. The T minus P divided by B. That is the first part of this score formula. So T is the number of tricks you've won, and par is half the number of cards in each player's starting hand. So in a 4-player game, there are each player has 8 cards or 8 tiles, and half of that is 4. So the par is 4. if you start with fewer cards because you're playing with more players, then the par is all the same, half the number of tiles in each player's hand. And B is if you're the banker, you pay or receive double. Any payment that you receive or pay, it will be double. So let's look at an example. In a 4-player game, the par would be 4 because there are 8 tricks to win or lose, and you've won 2 tricks. The banker won the last trick, which means the banker is the one who receives, is the winner of the hand, and therefore receives and pays double. So it would be 2 minus 4 times 2, right? Because 2, you won 2 tricks, 4 is the par, and you times 2 because you're paying the banker. Therefore, you paid 4 stakes to the banker. Stakes is however much you decide it's worth. Now, in like my games, like we don't actually play for money, but we virtually say, oh, $1 or 1 coin is 1 stake. So in this case, it's -4, so you would pay 4 stakes to the banker or the winner, and that's it. So I'll let you explore the rest of the scoring in your own time, but like this should be good enough for you to start playing, right? And that's kind of what I wanted to do in this video. Just start you off if you have not played Tingo before, and once you've got this down, then you could explore the rest of this. There are some resources on Board Game Geek, and well, this should also be enough because I showed this to my friends, and they were able to like figure out the rest of it on their own for the most part, right? So happy Tien Gow playing, and I will see you. Bye.